welcome to my channel. My name is Heather Matini and I am sharing my alopecia journey with everybody. The past year and a half while I've been going through this journey, I realized that there were not enough creators out there sharing their journey and being open about it, so I am here to do just that. I am a complete open book about my journey. I want to share my journey with everybody. I want to help everybody, and I am going to take this entire experience and turn it into a survival guide for you. So thank you for joining. Let's get into it. I'm going to start off with briefly sharing my alopecia journey and my story. I did cover that in another video. I will link that in the description, so make sure to go watch that video because I did go a lot more in depth on my journey on there. I included pictures, video, all about my hair loss, how long it took to lose my hair, and all of that. So go watch that video. But in a nutshell, I started losing my hair about a year and a half ago. It started out on a small circle about this big on the back of my head. I found it while kind of giving myself a scalp massage, and yeah, that's where it all began. I went through a lot trying to get it to grow back, and I think I finally figured it out. So I'm going to share what knowledge I have for you. A dermatologist, she recommended that we did steroid shots. So I had heard of these before. I've heard of people getting their shots before and that their hair came back. So I was like, cool, I'm on board. Let's do this. So we did about 10 to 12 shots that day in that small circle. And we gave it a couple months and didn't see any progress. So when I went back in, my spot grew from this to now like this. And I was feeling pretty hopeless at this point. But also, like, I wasn't too worried about it because it was in the back of my head. And so the top of my hair was covering it. So I went to the dermatologist and I got over 50 shots in my head that day, and they were uncomfortable. It didn't hurt. I will tell you that. It didn't really hurt, but I have a really high pain tolerance. So that's my experience with getting steroids. I did not do them after that. When I went back, I think I only went back, yeah, I only went there 3 times. So the third time I went back, she's like, hey, I just don't think this is working. We can try JAK inhibitors. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it basically just turns your immune system off. The side effects were not worth it to me. Side effects included like heart disease, heart failure, cancers, because you don't have your immunity to fight it. So I read that and I'm like, you know what? Now I'd rather be bald and not deal with those other side effects. So I decided against it, and she was not very happy about that. She was convinced that I was going to do these JAK inhibitors, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to put my body through any more of it. So I left the doctor office that day, and as soon as I got into my car, bawled my little eyeballs out, and kind of started my grieving process of losing my hair at that point. So fast forward a couple months into it, I started getting little spots like all over the back of my head, and they were everywhere. They started connecting, they started growing, and then I started getting them on the top of my head, them on my hairline, and I had zero hope. So during this time when I was getting these little spots, I did use, I used a root spray from, I think it's from L'Oreal. So I'll link it because that saved my butt during that time. So I would just spray these little spots and my hair would blend in just fine with it, and I felt pretty confident like going out in public that way, and not very many people could tell. But keep in mind, like when you're spraying this in, like if you scratch your scalp, it's gonna get all over your fingertips, or if you go to bed without washing your hair, it's gonna get all over your pillowcase. So I think these are great options for people who are just starting to lose their hair, or maybe even for kids. So that is something that you could also do to cover up your spots. I have a video that I did on that. I can link that as well so that you can see it and watch it and just kind of how I did it. So that was really, really helpful. Once that stopped working for me, because my bald spots were getting way too big to just like spray it. Like I felt like at that point I was going through a can of spray a day. Like I was spray painting my head. It was so bad. My head was so bad. And poor little Heather, I wish I could just give myself a hug at that time, because she went through it. Let me tell you, okay? Over the course of the last year and a half, I have actually lost about 70 pounds from the grief of everything happening. So if you want to hear more about that journey, let me know. But that is something to keep in mind, that you are going to be grieving your hair. It is the whole process. You're going to have to go through every single stage of grief. There's acceptance, anger, letting go. I don't even remember the stages, but I went through all of them and I'm still going through it. Okay, so anyways, after that is when I started getting into wearing hats. I wore a hat every single day. I did not feel comfortable leaving my house without one. It was just like dealing with a new identity. I felt like my identity was taken from me. And so I didn't really know how to adjust to it because it was happening so fast. And so I honestly stayed home a lot. I changed all of my orders to delivery or pickup. I stopped going to events with my friends and family. I just didn't want to be seen and had comments made to me, because you will get comments. That's the thing. Like, people love to give you their unsolicited advice or feedback. I remember one time we were at a family reunion and I had somebody come up to me after I took my hat off, because it was like a swimming one. And they were like, "Wow, you are going bald." I just took that with a grain of salt and just brushed it off, because I was like, you know what? They have no idea what I'm going through. And yeah, I am going bald, like, facts, but could they have said it nicer? Yeah, they could have. You're gonna get comments, and I think that part's hard, and it is harder for some people. But for me, I've had to train myself that it's none of my business what other people think about me, and I could truly care less. So, I don't know. If you aren't that way and you're super sensitive to it, then just know, like, I understand. I get it. I know it hurts so bad when people have to point out your appearance, and people shouldn't have to do that. People shouldn't say anything about you. But it is going to happen, and my heart breaks for kids going through this. This is an unforgiving disease. It's just not fair. I know that a lot of kids get bullied for it. Did I try serums and oils, creams, shampoos? Yes, I did. I tried all of the above. Did they work for me? No, I don't think so. But I am a firm believer that to heal what's happening on the outside of our body, we have to heal what's happening on the inside of our body. And for me, after lots and lots of research, I realized that I had a lot of inflammation in my body. So I started studying inflammatory issues and diseases within the body, and a lot of autoimmune diseases are caused from inflammation. So I did start to study that a lot. I started reading a lot of posts and listening to podcasts from Dr. Josh Red on inflammation. I have his book that I read. Okay, it's called the Inflammatory Reset diet, or the Inflammatory Reset. That's what it's called. So it's a guide to reducing inflammation. So I have read this. Most of this is recipes. It's not like, I wish it was a more informational book. And I have a couple books I have read on inflammation. Actually, let me get one for you. Here is another book that I have read. This is actually the first book that I read on inflammation. It's the Wahls Protocol Diet, a radical new way to treat all chronic autoimmune diseases conditions using paleo principles. This was a really good book. It was super eye-opening. I believe the writer, she had, I think she had MS. I believe she had MS. Okay, I think that's what it was. And so she talked about a lot, because she was a doctor herself, about how like nothing was working until she decided to change from within and change to like an anti-inflammatory diet and approach it that way. This was a really interesting book. I really enjoyed this one. It taught me a lot about inflammation in the body. So I would recommend those two books. There is like the super strict anti-inflammatory diet, and let me tell you something. That diet is hard because there's so many things that you cannot eat. My food that I ate consisted of like sweet potatoes, grass-fed beef, and like a vegetable. And you can't even eat all vegetables. So it was really, really hard. However, there is like the easier like more standard anti-inflammatory diet, which I would highly recommend. And this is kind of what I've been doing lately, and it's like no gluten, no dairy, no processed foods, and that's kind of the foundation of it. So if you want me to talk more about like what diet I am following, I'm not following a strict diet, you guys. Like, that is one thing I gave up, and that's when I started seeing the most results in weight loss and with my hair and inflammation in my body. I stopped doing that. That is not for me. I cannot live that way. I did that for a solid decade of my life, and I think that the stress from all of that didn't help with my hair and losing it. Okay, with inflammation in your body, it's also linked to a lot of deficiencies. So I did start taking some supplements. I started taking iron, zinc, B12, vitamin D, magnesium, a lot of pills. I'm not very good at taking pills. Anywho, I have another one for you. These are called, let me get these. These are called Complement. They are not a supplement. They complement your diet. And let me just tell you what's in it. Okay, so for the essentials, they have B12, D3, DHA, iodine, K2, zinc, magnesium, and selenium. So these are all inside of this. And it's also essence with peppermint. So when you open this, it smells like peppermint. It smells really, really good. And it doesn't give you like fish burps. Like, you know how a lot of vitamins give you that? So they smell super, super good. They're minty, and you take, I think 2 in the morning and 2 at night. So my mom actually gave me these, bless her heart. And I liked it because it had basically, if not everything I was taking, but in just 2 little pills. And I like that these are vegan, plant-based. So that is something that I added in. Am I consistent with it? No, I'm not. Should I be? Yes. Yes, I should. But that goes into what I am actually going to be planning on doing next. I'm going to be changing a lot of things with my diet coming up. I guess we should actually talk about the alopecia that I actually have. I have alopecia areata. So what that means is I am not losing all of my hair. I lose it in chunks. So it comes out in circles all over. And those circles can expand, they can combine. So then in some areas it'll look like I'm completely bald, like the back of my head. It's a goner. I also have half of my eyebrow missing, which is what we talked about in that video that's going viral, but that is a common thing. So in men with alopecia areata, if they have beards, they will get hair loss in their beard, just like random spots everywhere in their beard. So that is common. Eyebrows. For my body hair, this was very controversial in that video, and if you don't want to talk about body hair, go ahead and skip to the next chapter. That's totally fine with me, but I wish that somebody would have talked to me about this. And so I'm going to be big sister for a minute, and I'm going to help you, okay? So with alopecia, I have alopecia areata. So again, there's a couple differences, okay? So that's alopecia areata. Then there's alopecia totalis, which means you lose all of the hair on your head, and then universalis means all of the hair on your body. So eyelashes, nose hairs, ear hair, all of your hair on your body. So I have areata, which I feel like is the, like, I don't know, like the least invasive of all of it. They're all invasive, do not get me wrong, but out of the 3. So for body hair, for me with alopecia areata, I do have body hair. I still have body hair, just not a lot, okay? So I did not lose my body hair in circles. Like my arms is just like peach fuzz. You can barely see it. Anyways, when I got diagnosed with this, it's just peach fuzz. It is longer towards my wrist. And then on my legs, same thing. I grow like black hair around my ankles, and then the rest of my legs are just peach fuzz. So I do shave my legs every couple weeks, not that often. So if you have any questions about hair loss on your body, put them in the comments below and I will answer those for you. What I'm doing now, as you can see, I am wearing a wig. Yes, I finally got my hands on a wig, and I purchased this one from Highline Wigs. I purchased one that was most like my biological hair before I lost it. So like I said, my hair was down to my butt. I cut it up to here as I was losing my hair, and so this is the wig that I got. This wig is like the most realistic wig that I have laid my eyeballs on. So it's located in New York City. It's called Highline Wigs. I will tag them in the description so that you can go to their site. The one that I purchased, so this is a lace top full wig, natural dark brown, and I did the 23 to 24 inches. If you have more questions about my wig, if you have more questions about how to wear a wig, how to cut the lace on a wig, if you need to glue your wig, if you don't glue it, like literally any questions that you have about a wig, please ask me. Do I think that my hair is going to come back? Maybe. Not planning on it, not counting on it. It has for a lot of people. I've heard so many success stories, but I am not going to have these expectations and get let down by them. So I'm kind of just going with the flow of it, which is a huge thing in having regrowth and avoiding flare-ups, is trying not to stress about it. Okay, I know that everybody says don't stress, and I want to punch everybody in the face that says that, but I'm going to tell you right now, you got to start letting things go. I am a type A person through and through, okay, and I have had to become a type C person, not type B, but a type C. Okay, you've got to start letting things go, because when you do, that stress, everything that's built up inside of you, it's also going to come out. You've got to let it out. You've got to deal with it. You've got to deal with the emotions that you're going through right now. It's an emotional ride, and nobody can take that from you. Nobody. Okay? It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel mad. I'm so mad. It's okay to feel everything that you want to feel. It's valid. Okay? Last thing, I want you to know that you are beautiful with or without hair. I do not wear a wig every single day. I am maybe like 1 or 2 days a week I'll wear it, like if I go out and do errands. But like this morning I went to the grocery store, didn't wear a wig. Because you know what? I don't care. This is me. This is who I am. And if I don't have hair and people get offended by it, let them. Let them. Don't care. Okay? Be you. Be 100% authentically you. Do what you want. If you want to wear a wig, wear the freaking wig. If you don't want to wear a wig, don't wear it. If you want to shave your head, shave it. Nobody cares. Okay? Nobody cares. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Please go watch my other video. I will link it for you. I really think that'll be helpful for you. And if you have any questions, please ask me. I'm here to help you. I want to help you. Like, zero judgment, judgment-free zone. This is only a place for love and education, and I'm here for you. Okay, good luck out there, my fellow baldies. I love you. Bye.